Welcome to the next section in our lesson on leveraging LinkedIn. In this video, we will talk about a specific component of your LinkedIn profile, the headline. Before we start, your LinkedIn profile is highly customizable. There are many sections you can add, and we will talk about many of them together. In this video, we will discuss your headline. Future videos will cover the About section, Experience and Education sections, as well as Skills. There are many other possible sections you could add to your LinkedIn profile. To see all of the potential sections, click on the Add Profile section button, which is at the very top of your LinkedIn profile. And another helpful tip, you can easily edit any specific section of your LinkedIn profile by clicking the pencil icon within that section. Okay, so let's talk about your headline. The headline is essentially a one-line bio. As you can see, your headline is right there directly underneath your name, making it your LinkedIn first impression. Because of that, it is so important that your headline includes the most important keywords for your target career goals. And the entire headline can only be 220 characters, which means you need to be really smart and strategic about what to include in that headline. What should you include in your headline? Well, there's definitely creative flexibility here with how you want to write your headline. But no matter what, you must include your current position, and please be specific. And then you also want to include your strongest and most relevant keywords for the career that you are targeting. In addition, you may also want to use your headline to spotlight your accomplishments, to call out that target career field you're hoping to break into, or maybe even to share a fun fact or some other way of showcasing your personality. By default, LinkedIn will write you a very boring headline that is the same for everyone. Position at company. Don't settle for that default headline. Once again, your headline is your first impression. You don't want your first impression to be the passive auto-generated headline. So let's look at a couple default headlines and then how you could write a much better and more effective headline for that same person. So a default headline could be PhD student at University of Colorado Anschutz Medical Campus. Boring. A much better version of a headline for that person is Immunology PhD researcher developing novel CAR T-cell therapies, NSF fellow, passionate about translational medicine. Why is this headline better? Well, for one, now you actually know what that student is researching, whereas before, no clue. Also, this headline includes keywords that might be important for the student's career goals, like immunology and cell therapies. This headline also showcases some accomplishments that the student got. An NSF grant, wow! Finally, it also hints at the career goals with the translational medicine. Do you see how we already know so much more about that student based on that headline as opposed to the default headline? Let's take a look at a non-student example. This default headline could be Policy Analyst at Big Company. Doesn't tell you very much. A better headline could be Policy Analyst, Policy to Public Translator, and Oxford comma enthusiast. I love this example because it showcases some personality with the Oxford comma joke, while at the same time showcasing that this person must be a writer. I also want to point out that these two example headlines use slightly different formats. The first headline for the immunology PhD student is just very short statements that are separated by a vertical bar. This is a very common format on LinkedIn, and it's an easy way to string together a few keywords and accomplishments. Whereas the second example is more conversational. The choice of what kind of format you want to use is a personal and honestly stylistic choice. There is no best option. Pick whatever feels right to you. In summary, your headline is your one-line professional summary. In other words, it's your LinkedIn first impression. Remember, don't settle for the default position at company format. You're better than that. You want to include specific details about your role and expertise and not just generic titles. So try to avoid just saying PhD student. Instead, tell me PhD student studying what. Make sure to incorporate relevant keywords that are for that target career. And then, of course, if you would like, you can also use your headline to showcase personality and accomplishments while maintaining professionalism.